How's it going today, guys and gals? My name is Gene, and welcome to today's AA meeting. This episode/meeting is pretty significant for me considering the fact that one of my favorite manga series has ended today. The Promised Neverland has truly been an epic these last 4 years in the Shonen Jump universe. Its cast of diverse and well-written characters mixed with an extremely unique story with a ton of plot twists captured the attention of many readers, with new fans becoming addicted every day with the release of an anime last year. In my experience alone, I've fallen in love with the work of Shirai and Demisu so much that it's one of the very few mangas I purchased to add to my rather lackluster bookshelf. Today marks the end of a legacy in the Shonen Jump landscape. And today, I'd like to discuss several things to close The Promised Neverland before the anime is released in 2021. First, I'd like to discuss what interests me to become, in a sense, addicted to the series. Second, I'd like to make a prediction to what I presume the author and artist will do now that it's all said and done. And finally, I'd like to discuss the future of Shonen Jump stories. Without further ado, grab some popcorn, sit back, hit the like button, and let us begin. The Promised Neverland is a unique tale. One so different from the typical My Hero Academia mangas provided to us by Shonen Jump, that I had no interest in reading it when it was first released. I was too addicted into action mangas like Attack on Titan to start reading an anime about little kids. No offense, but the first picture I saw of the series, I wondered to myself, what could these three little kids do in a manga to grab my interest? It wasn't until the anime was released when I forced myself to watch the series because everyone was telling me it was so stellar. And after the first episode, I was hooked in the story. From then on, I waited in anticipation for every new episode to be released on Thursday. When the show ended, I told myself I wasn't going to read the manga because I wanted this to be one of the very few anime-only series I actually do. However, curiosity got the best of me, and I ended up purchasing every volume available at the time and reading every chapter. Obviously, those who know the story goes in a completely direction once the children escape from Gracefield Farm, and the story again changes direction after the short time skip. Overall, things weren't rushed until the end, but in my opinion, the rushed ending doesn't deteriorate from the story. Emma's journey is wild and adventurous, and not the typical way a teenage girl expects her teens to go. But Emma's story goes far from a girl who wanted to save her family. At the end, she wanted to save everyone, including the demons. And shoot, even some of the bad guys in this story. Her character had always stayed the same in the caring way. And this character trait helped everyone develop in this unique survival story, especially characters like Ray and Norman. In the end, she may have lost her memory, but the Emma we know and love as readers is still there. And if the series was ever to receive a one-shot in the future like Death Note had, I'm sure Emma and the gang are well off. Now that the series is done, what's going to happen to Shirai and Demisu? Well, for one, I'm not a fortune teller, so I can't make any predictions to what I presume the two will do. But based off their ages and experience, I feel like it can be fun to take some guesses. Let's start with the artist of the series, Demisu. First off, let's applaud her for her unique drawing style and improvement in her work we all witnessed firsthand. Don't believe me? Look at Norman 4 years ago and then look at him today. I know all artists improve their work, especially when creating a series, but in this case, I see someone who mastered their unique art form in a little less than 4 years. Given the fact that she's relatively young, I can see her working on more mangas in the future. Quite possibly as well, she can create her own story and be an author/artist during her journey. I, for one, am fascinated with her art. It's unique, edgy, and the perfect representation of the year 2020 that whatever she does, I'm going to follow it. For Shirai, it was very difficult for him to allow The Promised Neverland to be featured in Jump, since it was such an anti-Jump tale. Regardless, he was able to team up with his partner Demisu and produce one of the biggest hits in anime. Shoot, the story was so different, so many YouTubers were trying to dub it the next Death Note, though it's nothing like Death Note. Now that Shirai has clout, I foresee him having no trouble having his stories adapted into manga, since other companies should be honored to produce any of his stories. Will he do them with Demisu remains to be seen, but unlike Kishimoto, the author of Naruto, I'm pretty positive his next work is just going to be as successful as The Promised Neverland. I'm positive because The Promised Neverland story wasn't dragged for years that Shirai will be able to come up with another hit story that we'll all be talking about in the year 2022. Again, these are all speculations, but guessing is more fun since we have no more Promised Neverlands to look forward to in the weeks to come now. Finally, what's going to happen to the state of Jump now that another popular series has ended? Jump has always been known for their long generation lasting action stories like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, and My Hero. All these series have one thing in common, and that's the length lasting years. Give for example One Piece. The manga has been a part of Shonen since July 22nd, 1997. Do you want to know when I was born? July 14th, 1996. So I'm only 1 year and 8 days older than One Piece, which is wild. The reason I bring this up is because Jump may be going through some changes in the near future. We love long-lasting mangas that span our generation. However, the biggest problem with that is sometimes the stories are too long and get a bit weird the longer the author tries to create situations for the main characters. The Promised Neverland is different in the sense that the manga only lasted 4 years, which is strange considering there is so much freedom to create more scenarios for the main cast to face since the world of demons is so unique and broad. But the author from the beginning has stated that he never wanted the series to be long. Now, I predicted the manga was going to end at chapter 194, considering the fact that everyone from Gracefield Farms had the tattoos on their neck ending in 194. However, Shadai felt this was the best time to stop the series, even though I'm positive the heads of Jump are begging him to stretch out the story. In my opinion, it seems like the current state of manga published by Jump shorter than their brethren before them. Several weeks ago, Demon Slayer ended its series, and Demon Slayer was just reaching the point of topping One Piece's numbers in volume sales. However, just like The Promised Neverland, Demon Slayer didn't stretch out its story. Given this, I feel like it's safe to assume that it's going to be a while before we have the next long generation story, as it seems like the popular idea at this point is to keep the story short and straight to the point without all the filler. This, in my opinion, allows the authors to be more secure in their storytelling and allows them not to add extra events in order to prolong the ending. Because Jump allowed Demon Slayer and The Promised Neverland to end relatively around the same time, I presume that Jump will begin to publish new manga with shorter stories just for the chance to gain more net in return, rather than to constantly having to find the next One Piece or Naruto. This isn't to say we'll see less of My Hero and Black Clover, but I presume we'll have less elongated stories, unless the series has a dedicated fan base and the artist is willing to spend years working on the project. So that concludes the videos today. Part of me is sad to see The Promised Neverlands go, but I'm happy to have been a part of this journey. What do you guys think about what I said during this video? And tell me some of your ideas and feelings in regards to the series in the comment section below. Anyway, this has been Gene with Ascension Anime. Thank you again for watching. If you liked it, please give it a like. And if you want to see more content, please hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys later. Ciao.